Okay. So, audio's good, video's good, preview looks good. Waiting for the bit on the YouTube preview there to pop up. It's just a couple minutes late tonight. Whoops. But there we go. Excellent. We are golden. Hey there, hi there, everybody. Hope you're having an excellent Friday here so far. It's continuing to be a dramatic roller coaster in game right now, but that's really not what we're focusing on tonight. Tonight is just putting more points in the Taskmaster arena. I'm going for the 10% stretch goal for Milestones, somewhere in the 15-16 million range. But about 5 million points yesterday. I haven't really played much since, so I'm hoping tonight to get to about 10 mil and be about 2/3 of the way done. So tonight's going to be a laid-back, chill grind. Should be a good time. I want to welcome you to the stream, to everybody who's watching live. Really glad to have you here. To those of you who have found the stream later on, cheers on finding the channel in the depths of YouTube, and also glad to have you here. I want to take a big moment to say a big welcome to the new Von subs to the channel. Appreciate you guys really digging the content and are interested in staying tuned for what comes out next. Got plenty of cool stuff in the pipes. But that all having been said, let's just dive straight away and get right to it. So I'm going to be starting off with my 6s here tonight. Just because I already got the streak going, and the sooner I get my 6s going, the sooner that they refresh. I've turned off suicides, I believe. That's why my PI is back down to something a bit more realistic. And that's worked out pretty well for me here so far. Just wait out the Unstoppable here on Diaper Man, hopefully bait out a heavy. There we go. And then just lather, rinse, repeat. Or if you're wrecked by bleed damage. That's always fun. So today's big story was, today was the release of Section 3 of the Act 7.1 beta. I wound up putting out another condensed map over on my Twitter. If you want to head over there, check that out. It has all the nodes all in one spot, the paths, the link nodes, all that jazz, plus the enemies you're going to fight. So if you're looking to just get it all in one place without having to scroll in game, or starting to stockpile materials for potential legend runs, or just plotting out paths and what you want to do later on, it's not a bad resource. So I got all 3 up there right now if you want to check those out. Overall, I think the nodes are about on par with what they've put out for Act 7 so far. So it shows the return of Ice Phoenix and the nonsense that goes with Ice Phoenix, just tuned up to fit a more contemporary setting. And it's got a Gwenperion for the final boss. With, from what I can tell, one for sure counter with Warlock, and a lot of timing out and quitting with everybody else. You could probably get through with a built-up Corvus and then just time out every 19 seconds before she fully heals again, but by and large, yeah, that node is not fun. Doable, but not fun. Corvus was my solution for what I'm calling the easy path in Section 2. The polka dot power and I forget what the other node was. You can pretty much Corvus the entire thing, along with Proxima, provided that you're boosted and you're running full suicides. So, you know, easy peasy there, right? But, you know, Kabam has come out twice and said that you know, hey, we hear you guys, we're going to take a look at it. So, you know, take all that with a grain of salt. And, you know, we'll see what happens. What's up, AC? How are you? Hope you're doing fine this wonderful morning. You know, that that actually is a thing with the Elgato program here. It's ridiculously finicky, and it likes to mess around with the placement of my layers. So anytime I change the names for the subs, it sometimes decides it just wants to change the font size, it wants to change the font family. And I was running late as is already. So tonight, the new Von subs get a serifed font. Be a little bit fancier, I guess, but hopefully should be back to normal for tomorrow. My friend, you've just summed up life in general. Yeah. Yeah, that about sums it up. I'm not gonna lie. Just cover the whole gamut. So for the beta, we've got about 2 days left to try stuff out. They only gave 1 week to test out basically 25 new nodes easily, with very specific counters and very specific situations. So I think to properly beta test that and really test out and see what's possible and plausible, they would have needed to give us like another week easy, for like 2 weeks. But I think a lot of that still is just giving a real dry run to some nodes to incorporate into either a future war season or future AQ or a monthly quest. Very nice. Yeah, well, you still got a bunch of rifts left to go. Those are really hit and miss. I'm really looking forward to getting started on mine, even though that won't be for a little while still. And good. That's real good. Good to hear. All right, Gilly. Okay. Okay, perfect. Because I nullified the regen. Otherwise, that would have been toast. Well, there's always highs and lows with everything, AC. You just gotta ride them out and play it by ear. And hope for the best. Because really, at the end of the day, that's the best that anybody can do, you know? But I do wish you luck with that. I don't know if any of you guys had also gotten invites to the beta. Some people did, some people didn't. What's up, Sedan? How you doing, bud? Hope you're doing well this fine evening. Glad to have you here. Oh, that's bad. I'm so lucky. I'll just back off for a little minute. Was it in Django? Is that Lego? That was Lego, right? I don't really buy into the concept of having a really tight-knit beta. Like, I understand it in theory, I just don't think that their reasoning for who got invites and who didn't get invites was very compelling. Because they were very, you know, even-handed with it, I suppose. They gave a lot of people from all different completion points access, which was great. You know, everyone gets a chance to play, but then they throw, as everybody knows, the nodes that they did at people, and if you don't have a specific champ at rank 5 or a 6-star at rank 2 or higher, you're going to have a bad time. You know, Sedan, I've got a Taskmaster. He's just unawakened. So I'm waiting to see what the first round score goes for. And if it's something, you know, fairly plausible, you know, 40 mil-ish, then yeah, I'm probably gonna go for him second round. Get him woken up. Because Lordy knows when I'm actually gonna pull him out of a crystal, and at least that way I don't need to blow an awakening gem on him. Not that I'm really jumping to, you know, wake him up or spend an awakening stone on him, but there's no easier way to wake up a champ than just getting him out of arena. Your nickname is Cheese? Just cheese or a specific kind of cheese? So we'll see what ends up happening. I'm cautiously optimistic that Kabam is actually going to take the constructive criticism to heart. Because they have, you know, in the past, really come through with taking constructive criticism to heart. You know, 12.0 being the best example of any of that. The thing is, though, you know, it isn't just the Act 7 that needs love, you know. So to that end, I really wouldn't mind them taking a month off of, you know, throwing out new champions, right, and just really buckle down and work on some of the quality of life stuff. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, check it out. My IGN is Kool-Aid for the exact same reason. Because I love me some Kool-Aid. Cheers. It's my go-to. If there's a study that ever comes out that Kool-Aid causes cancer, I'm screwed. Yeah, let's do that. See how Ma does against Hulk. About as well as you'd expect, I suppose. It's my 6-star roster is ridiculous. I'm so fortunate and so lucky and blessed to have the champs that I have. It's really silly. I've gotten very good pulls, and that's not typical and not common. But I'm very thankful for the champs I've got. Well, I mean, you can probably just hold off on that for a little bit. AC, just actually go out a couple of times, you know. I know the world the way it is right now makes that a little bit difficult, I suppose. But you know, just talking about stuff is always a good start. Actually spending time together to see if you enjoy spending time together, that's a good plus after that. And then once you've been doing that for a little while, then there you go. Because you also want to test out the waters too, if it's something that's just fun and casual, or something that everyone's on the same page about for buckling down and seeing if they can make something a little bit more serious out of it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stupid 1%. There we go. Well, AC, then that's tough. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of experience in that category. Every distance relationship I've ever tried hasn't worked out super great, so I'm not the best judge on that one. That having been said, I know people personally that have made that work and are really happy about it. So I'd probably just keep gabbing for a little bit still. But seems like it's starting off pretty good, and I wish you guys the best. What is my favorite champ? Elsa Bloodstone, hands down, favorite champ. Not the best champ in the game, but she is the most fun to play, and I never have a bad time when I'm playing as her. So, hands down. And then who do I want to get as a 6-star? If I had to pick one, I would probably go Thing, I think. Because my science 6-stars aren't very diverse. I've got a Wasp, and she's absolutely amazing, but she's super squishy, right? So I think Thing would complement her nicely, being a tank with the survivability. Waking up Sparkles would be amazing. But otherwise, I don't know. I could give you a wish list a mile long of... Oh no, I know who it is. I want a Storm X as a 6-star. She would be fun. But I mean, outside of that, it's kind of hard to say because, you know, I've got a pretty very well-rounded 6-star roster currently. So everybody else would be, you know, nice to have. It'd be nice to have a Corvus. It'd be nice to have a Torch. It'd be, you know, nice to have Nick Fury, you know. But that having been said, I mean, I've got them as 5s, right? And the 5s aren't dead yet. So I'm actually... That's why I don't mind the crystal openings. Like the last one I opened, I got a... who was it? Well, Yellow Jacket is Rus and Pola. Pulled the Hella on the beta account. But like, I'm not mad about getting what some people call like trash tier or meme tier champs, you know. At this point, I'm just more interested in just whatever I get, really. Super exciting, and it's always fun. There are no bad pulls that way. This is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I guess outside of the Sparkles dupe, Storm X, I think, just because she's just fun to play. And she doesn't really need to be awakened either, which is a big plus. What about you? If you could pick one 6-star champion right now, that'd be at the top of your wish list, whether it's an awakening or a brand new champ, who would it be? I'm in California, SoCal. So it is still early. That's why it's still light out. No, not really. It's not rare. And I think it's a great place to start too, because at least, you know, the people you meet that way, you already got something in common. Yeah, so we'll have to see. I'm still hoping that they wind up doing like a 6-star basic arena at some point. And some point soon at that. That way, you know, people can pick up specific champs that they're going for, or at the very least introduce 6 stars as incursion rewards. So you aren't guaranteed anyone specific, but at least it gives you the option to get a 6-star out of those, you know. There we go. Cheers. Yeah, that's definitely a good place to start. Helps keep the conversation going for 6 hours by the sound of it. This all having been said, I really hope that this is a nice turning point in game where devs start listening to players more again. Because, you know, a year and a half ago, they listened to us and started introducing additional content, right? Because at the time, you could get everything done and then there'd be nothing to do for 2 weeks. Now it's almost the opposite problem, is that there's too much to do. And the stuff that there is to do isn't really fun to begin with, you know? So, you know, finding the balance. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's definitely an acquired taste. Definitely an acquired taste. So if you love being around people, it's fantastic. And if you love being around a whole heap ton of different kinds of people, it's even better still. That having been said, it's almost getting to the point where you're still starting to step over people, both literally and figuratively. And if you enjoy or appreciate the quiet and peacefulness of nature, you'd be pretty hard-pressed to find that out here. Unless you have a whole heap ton of money. But it's nice overall. Can't complain. Maybe that's a good sign. But then there's always that bit about being backburnered too. So, just as long as, you know, keep that in mind too. Because it's no fun being strung along. Do that, and do that, and do that. What about you? Where are you at? It's always fun to go visiting. And then Cali is also one of those kind of places where you can drive an hour in any direction and be in a completely night and day different place. You know, either with temperature or scenery or people or mood and atmosphere, anything like that. Like, you want to go to the beach? Great. It's an hour and a half down, you know, down south. You want to head up to the snow? Cool. It's an hour and a half out that way. Want to go hang out in the desert? Excellent. It's about 2 hours out east. You want to go just, I don't know, if you're into farmlands, you can head north a bit. A little bit of everything. Nice. How's it out there? And how long were you in Nepal for? Like just born there, or spend a good bit of time there? I've had friends who had visited. Oh, backburnered means that you wind up being perpetually somebody's second option. So, like, you know, you wind up being strung along while the person sees if there's something, I don't know. I guess it kind of ties in with being the friend zone bit a little bit. You know, you always got the kettle on the back burner just in case whatever's going on the front burner doesn't work out. You still got something else to fall back on. It's not a fun place to be. Do they really have 5 offers out right now? So there's a sigil still, which they just hawk that like it's nobody's business. That's right, and then it's the three gotcha bundles, and then the temporary stuff here too. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. So this is, you got the vanilla 5, right? And on top of that, you got 2, you got 4, you got 6, 7 things they're trying to. Dang. See, that's really cool. Getting to move around. Because then, like, not only is it just like a slightly different atmosphere, but so, you know, entirely different countries, different peoples and different walks of life, different adventures. Yeah. It's really interesting the way that this whole bit has worked out. That, for one, that they shut down Vegas, for one, who'd have thought that, and then for two, just how adamant Vegas has been about resuming normal life come hell or high water. Have you been to Vegas before? It's a fun place, but it's extraordinarily touristy. Extraordinarily touristy. Like, they got the reputation and they hawk the reputation. They know you know what Vegas is, what Vegas has to offer. And that's just in your face constantly. But literally, you walk 3 blocks off of the strip there, and it's just vanilla suburbs. And then, you know, 10 minutes outside of that, you're in the middle of the desert. But they really want to uphold that reputation, you know? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What are some good signs? She initiates stuff, asks follow-up questions, more than just surface level. Remembers key details of random things. Oh, you like X, Y, and Z because of X, Y, and Z? Oh yeah, I remember that. Stuff like that. At least from what, you know, you'd be able to tell online. In person is a different story, but online, usually. It's a pretty good list. At least for Southwest US and outside of coming to Cali. But I mean, California would probably have to be a trip in and of itself, because California is like an onion, you know. If you come to Los Angeles, there's so many different sides of Los Angeles. If you do SoCal, there's San Diego, you got Los Angeles, or head up the coast of San Francisco. And a lot like Vegas, it really depends what kind of experience you're looking for, because you can do the whole touristy bit in Los Angeles, right? You can see all the touristy sites, you can see the Hollywood sign. If you wind up getting into a group of other tourists, everyone's going to refer to the place Hollywood like it's an actual city, you know, as opposed to just more of an idea. You see what they want you to see, experience what they want you to experience, but it's actual LA is completely different. So you'd have to actually wind up spending a good few days here to get a more nuanced appreciation, I'd say. See, I would actually be really interested in seeing Everest. I would. I wouldn't be one of the people that would want to hike it. And certainly not someone who's going to try and reach a summit. No. But I don't know. Like, at least from stories out here, it's gotten extremely popular trying to climb Everest. So much so that they're, you know, you see a couple like shots of just queues of people up the side of the mountain, right? Taking it step by step. As soon as the person in front of them takes it step by step, and that's not even close to the summit. I'd love to see it though. That would be a lot of fun. You just visit the people, try the food, learn something new. There you go. Lakers game is quintessential LA. Glad you got to do that. That's fun. AC could be a good sign, but you just need to be the gauge, have a gauge for that. You know, it's entirely possible that, you know, you're the one person that she can talk to. it's also possible that maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to. I realize I'm coming across as overly cynical, and I don't mean to be. I really don't. You just got to play it by ear, you know? Have a solid sixth sense about it. And have fun, you know? Be smart, but have fun. What's my favorite destination? Here in SoCal, or like if where would I want to travel? You know, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. Not a big chance, but a chance. No, that's good. That's good. But AC, I mean, really, the part of it though too is the whole thing's a learning experience too, you know. And it's always a smart idea to just take a step back too, and just, you know, either later, the day after, whatever. Just say, hey, if this was a dude saying this to me, how would I feel or how would I react, you know? If I could go someplace, I'd love to go to Italy. Like, Italy is one of the places I could just spend a couple of months, you know? Visit Rome, do Rome, visit Tuscany, check out Tuscany, Florence, pop on down to Sicily. Different country, but close enough. Just eat all of that up, yeah. Backpacking through Europe sounds awfully romantic. I don't think I could or I would anymore, but that could be fun. Michael asks, how much for Taskmaster? Are you asking for the 5-star, 4-star, or 3? 5-star, I'm guessing, is going to go somewhere in, I'm hoping, is going to go somewhere in the low 40s. 4-star, probably about 12 mil, maybe 13. Shoot, maybe a little bit higher just in case. 3-star is probably going to be less than $1 million. Well, there you go. Congrats on 60 subs. That big, the fun videos you've been putting out have been paying off. There you go. Congrats. You're well on your way to your first 100. Is it? Yeah, 5-star about a little. I'm a little bit further, a little over 40 mil, low 40s. Taskmaster is an adequate champ that can do interesting things, but if you ask anybody who their favorite top 5 skilled champions are, Taskmaster is never going to be in anybody's list. Okay, if I was gonna go to Bali, what would you recommend that I check out? Say I had a week. So if and when I go visit places, and it's both, I suppose. I want to go and visit, you know, because there's a difference between, hey, I spent a day, you know, in Brazil, right? The fact that you have to say I spent a day in the country of Brazil means you didn't really see Brazil, right? So if I go any place, I want to spend time there. I actually get to enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with Taskmaster. He's not a bad champion, and that's the thing. 90% of the champions in the game here are not bad champions. It's just that they either haven't aged well because their numbers don't keep up anymore, or there are so many other newer, flashier champions that people just fawn over, you know? So like Taskmaster, he's a good champ. Night Thrasher is a good champ. Electra is a good champ. But I'm just saying, top 5 skill people that you're going to hear about, you know, Aegon, Nick Fury, obviously. Blade still, probably. And then take your pick on, you know, the last 2. But I'm still willing to wager that Taskmaster wouldn't be a top 5. How do I not screw it up? Best answer I could give you there is to always be honest with yourself. Don't say things you don't mean. Don't promise things that you know you can't follow through on. And always be straight. Straight in that, just be honest. I mean. And then, you know, whatever happens, happens. Yeah, well, that I bet. See, culture, people, and local food, I think, are really the most exciting for anywhere I go. Like even the touristy places in America, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm going up to Seattle, say, or going out to New York, right? Or going out to Denver, or wherever. It's like, oh yeah, you know, you got the touristy bit. Here's the Space Needle. There's the Empire State Building. You know, here's the gateway to the Rockies. All that. That's good and that's great, and it's all spit shined and polished and all that. But okay. But like when I describe my visit after I get back to friends, family, whoever, seeing the Space Needle or Empire State Building or the Rockies is never the first, second, or third thing I say. You know, hey, it's cool to see it, do the whole touristy bit, and have an appreciation for that, but it's, for me at least, it isn't the most enjoyable or memorable. So that's cool. That's really cool. I'm just looking forward to being able to do that again, you know? Because here in America, things are starting to ease up a little bit, but that's just within the states. Because everybody from country to country is responding to it different and still looking at it, everybody from other countries cross-eyed. Hey, Shearmoy, much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. It was a fun little project. See, going into it, I was like, you know what? Weapon X looks really cool. I kind of wish I had done Legends runs for Act 6. But Act 7 is going to be coming out. I might want to do a Legend run for that if they do Weapon X again or if there's somebody different. So, in addition to a fun project, you know, maybe it'll help me get my eggs in a basket earlier on for doing a Legends run. And then it came out, and the nodes are what they are. And I'm not saying I'm not gonna. It's just not going to be nearly as much fun as I would have hoped. By a long shot. So. But we'll see. I really am hoping that the final Act 7.1 is going to be a marked improvement over the current iteration. With more fun mechanics as opposed to in-your-face BS mechanics. But, you know, hope springs eternal. By and large, ILAC put out a video earlier, and by and large, I think he had some interesting points of other things to incorporate into a revamp. Some things I didn't entirely agree on, I think, and there are other things that I think it could be improved on that he didn't mention, but I think it, you know, more or less. Yeah. Because, like, for me, at the point in the game where I'm at with the roster that I've got, well, actually, I should say this. The problem that I've got with Act 7 so far is that even if you do have the one ideal champion per path that you need to get through the path, and then the other one super unique champion you need to get through the boss, because it's two different champions, and then their support synergies on top of that, even if you have the ideal counter, it still is like a 10-minute fight for some of those fights. And that is just so stupidly annoying, you know? Because they're tanky champs at about 80k PI, right? But it shouldn't be a 10-minute fight each. That is no fun. Okay. Actually, so then let me pick your brain a little bit there. So I do throw up some tags, right? You know, MCOC if it's a crystal opening, I could just say a 6-star, then a couple other tags, 6-star, hashtag, featured 5. It's not Twitter, there's no hashtags. You know, crystal this, Act 6 rewards, stuff like that, right? And the more I'm getting into the YouTube bit, the more I'm paying attention to the back end stuff like that. But just picking your brain, what? Uh-oh. What? What? Ah, get away from me. Get out of here. Jeez, that was such a stupid lucky win right there. Anyway, so Dan, what are some of your own recommendations? Because, you know, when you upload a video, you get the whole other 9 yards, like, what language is it in? What recording date, right? You got the tags, game, like which game is it made for, stuff like that. And looking at the back end, it's really interesting to see how that all breaks down. like in a couple of videos, right? I think my biggest one is the Act 6 opening, the first one, right? It's got like a 2% following for people who, you know, don't have noticed that it isn't closed captioned, right? Or care that it has, or that it's been available for closed captioning in other languages, right? And that's 2% of people. And the more, the more views that the thing gets, the more people that 2% incorporates. So, and stuff like that's really been useful and been interesting. Yeah, Shimon, I'm thinking that for that one, like bleed is pretty straightforward, right? If you got a Nick Fury, that should do wonders. I think Ronin with a dead White Widow might be able to get through the bleed pretty quick, but poison just doesn't have that kind of damage. So I was thinking, because I haven't finished that path, I'm probably not gonna do that path. I'm thinking the fastest way to get through that is to just hit into the block. Just like that Do You Bleed Rogue from Act 6. Like, at the end of the day, that's probably going to be the fastest way to do it. Because otherwise, the only other champ that can inflict quick poisons is like Clairvoyant, right? But even though she can get a lot of poison debuffs, they don't do any damage. There isn't a poison Nick Fury out there, you know? And even though like A-Bomb and Man-Thing have had their poison damage buffed with synergies, you're really going to be running out of roster space just to account for the bleed and the poison and the boss kill. You know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, but wait, is that a Black Panther Civil War? Yeah. Well, that's not ideal. It's not ideal. It's not. Well, it's not that great. Sorry, AC. Sorry. I'm trying to find the silver lining right there. It's not 3 Iron Patriots, I guess. Some shoutouts in the video itself, so it picks up that, or in the body text. So then, all right, AC. We'll play it by ear. My tomorrow's pretty booked up, so we'll see. Not opposed, but we'll see. If you see me online, just hit me up. I think the one thing, Shirmoy, that they can do to improve that is that instead of shrugging off debuffs, you just don't do any damage. That way you don't need to like keep constantly reapplying different, bleeds or poisons. It's just there's a period where it does damage and it's a period where it doesn't do damage, and then after a while it goes back to doing damage again. Because there are too many poison champs out there that do poison damage over a long period of time, right? And you've got less than 10 seconds to get your damage in before you gotta do it all over again. And for the most part, some of the champs' animations to even get the freaking bleed out in the first place is most of that 10 seconds. Which is really dumb. Yeah, and then Shirmo, I guess it just really also comes down to who you have as your bleed champ and as your poison champ. Oh, crap. That's not gonna go well. Because Squirrel Girl is nice because even though, and I guess Ronan too for that matter, because he can bleed through block. Is that even if they turtle up for your 10-second window, at least you can still hit into their block and cause bleed damage. But then again, Squirrel Girl has only just been added to the 5-star basic pool. So it's like, that's such a new niche champ, you know? And not to knock Squirrel Girl, because she isn't bad. It's just like, when are you going to use her again, though, you know? She's got a really good synergy for Dr. Doom, and she can bleed through block. That insta-bleed is pretty nice, but... Why do we keep going back to the 6s? Yeah, well, they just opened up the survey today for the, well, what did you think bit, and you know, gonna be fair and balanced and upfront about exactly what I thought and what they can fix. Because I don't want to be a negative Nancy, you know. This is the worst piece of content you ever put out. That doesn't do anything for anybody. It's like, hey, I see what you're going for here. I think it's interesting, but here's a way where we can improve it to make it fun as opposed to tedious. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was really hesitant to take Torch up to rank 4 just for Abyss. And Torch is still an amazing champion, and I see people do great things with him, but I don't know. Like, to me, he's still super niche. And I think it's just because he's so late to the game, and I've been playing for so long. But it's like, okay, well, if I want an Incinerate champ, here's my Sunspot. If I want a heal reversal champ, here's my Void. If I want a heal reversal champ who's also Incinerate immune, also here's my Void. And I'm just not sold on his Sig ability. You know, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. He's good, yeah, but I don't know. I feel the same way about Warlock. He's an amazing champion, right? I just haven't fallen in love with his playstyle or his kit. So it's just like, I mean, I could rank you up, but I don't know. Maybe someday. Whereas Thing, on the other hand, it's like, cool, I know what you're going for, I know what you do, you can do this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other that other people can't do. So, yeah, awesome. Plus a useful Sig ability. A reliable Sig ability, I'll say that. Thank you. And there's that. Because Warlock is the MVP of the Gwenperion fight. Evidently. I don't know. I think I'm just still too stingy with my resources. And, you know, also because resources are still as rare as they are. Even playing, you know, at master bracket for war, plus top 10 for AQ, plus buying all of the shards that you can out of the glory store every 14 days or whatever it is. It's still going to take you a month per rank 5. So you gotta be pretty sure. Which is why I really wouldn't mind if they introduced Ringtown tickets as a attainable thing as opposed to a once a year nicety. Because would it really break the game if you can rank down one champ every quarter, even? Really? That is the line in the sand between a successful game and financial ruin? Really? I don't buy it. But what do I know? I've just been playing the game for 4.5 years. Alright, so where are we at here with the 5 stars? Alright, so we're almost out of the max 5-star range, which is excellent, moving right along, and almost at 10 mil. Very nice. So the way I figure it is that I'm going to get through and start dipping into the rank 4s, see what time it is, and then maybe just burn off some quest energy before calling it a night. And get a little bit of Quake and Bake in. They die too easy at this level. Yep. Too easy. I had a pretty solid Quake and Bake going in Alliance War earlier. I had 2 fights where both of them were stun immune, and got through 5.5 minutes between 2 of them without getting tapped. That wasn't bad. And then for the second one, then I got tapped and ended very quickly. Come on, my dude. Thank you. Take that Fury back. There we go. No Fury for Fury. I'll take that. I think one of my other suggestions too would be to give us more opportunity or more option to just try out champs. You got 2 new champs coming into the contest every month, and that's been going on just about every month for the last 4 years, right? So, you know, even if you're able to separate yourself from the constant, you know, keeping up with the Joneses mentality, doesn't mean it gives you any type of chance to play them and get to use them and understand how they work. You know, I'm still sitting on the champs that I got out of the featured crystal last month, which are good champs, and I'm happy to have them. But like, I still don't know how to use Vision Arcus, or Squirrel Girl, or Terrax, or Mole Man. You know, still a scrub at long shot, even though I took him to rank 2. And that's just the champs from the last like 4 months. But I think also that's kind of on me. I gotta dedicate one live stream a week to just playing champs I don't play, figuring them out and seeing how they work. Because that one with Ronan the other night was a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, those kind of materials are feast and famine. You know, you get nothing for ages, and then all of a sudden, you get a whole bunch of stuff, and it overflows to your overflow, right? And then if you don't use it or can't use it in 30 days, then you'll lose it. So I lucked out, and with a bit of planning, I was able to use all my stuff from 6.4 and Act 6 completion, but I know a lot of people who didn't, just because they refused to rank up champs that they wouldn't have wanted to rank up anyway. I'm like, well, that's cool, but I'm not willing to burn 10 T2A just for that, you know? And there's stuff coming up here too where it's going to be the same way. You get a whole lot of nothing, and all of a sudden you have a whole bunch of everything presented to you. And it's like, well, okay, well, that's cool, but I better make sure that I've got the space for it. Cool. And there goes Venom. See, the 6 stars especially, you know, 6 star rank 1 to rank 2 is pretty big by itself, because that's 3 tier 5 basic, whole bunch of, what was it, 8 tier 4 class, and 7 or 8 tier 2 alphas for a single rank up, right? Then we're at a point in the game where you also got the rank 3 for the 6 star rank up, right? Which is even more. But at the same time, it's completely RNG based as to what the tier 5 class catalysts are that you get. So it's not uncommon at all to pull 3 of the exact same class, you know? I pulled 2 and then formed a third of the same class. And if I didn't have the champs that I had, then I'd be sitting on tier 5 class that I can't do anything with, just because of how rare it is for starters and how hard it is to come by the tier 5 basic and tier 2A to throw into them in the first place, you know? Yeah.